2022. 2022 was a really good year for me. It was my year of financial irresponsibility, basically. Like, I didn't give a fuck. Like, I bought whatever I wanted last year or this year, and yeah, I just didn't feel bad about it. Usually buying things would come with some sort of guilt for me. I just always felt like I need to save my money. And yeah, I'm working on getting out of that. I really need to work on getting out of feeling bad about spending my money on myself for things that I want, because I have no problem buying things that I need, but whenever I want to buy something that I just want and it's like pretty expensive, because I do like expensive shit, I just feel bad about it. Like, I will sit on it for years. And in 2022, it was just kind of like me going through my little list of things that I wanted, and just kind of like, you know what, I'm gonna buy that, I'm gonna get that too, I'm gonna get this and that, and I need all of them. So yeah, it was nice, but also I didn't save much this year in 2022, and I just learned that I need to have a nice balance between saving my money and spending it on the things that I want. I'm really bad at like prioritizing or managing my time. I think it's more so time management, because I'm not bad at like prioritizing things. Like, I know what I have to do and what I have to get done, but I feel like I'm just really bad at like prioritizing my time to do things that I want to do. Basically, I just don't be doing what I like. I don't get things done often because I'm not managing my time well, like in my personal life. Like, everything is just so all over the place and it's just so chaotic. So I really need to work on just managing my time better, and actually, I don't know, setting time to do the things that I want to do, to make sure I actually do them. Another thing that's chaotic is my space. Like, I've learned that if my space is cluttered, it feels chaotic, it is chaotic, and I can't really function. And that also like hinders me from like being productive and managing my time well, I want to say, because I've just learned that like if I'm in chaos, like right now all around me, let me actually take a picture of it. There's just so much stuff like in front of me right now, and even behind me, and it just feels like, whoa, I can't do anything. Like, I don't know how I've been functioning. Like, and it's no wonder, like, I've been kind of like barely functioning at here. I don't know. I don't even know if I'm explaining this right, but basically all 2022, I felt like it was just been a struggle for me to get things done. And I think a huge part of that is just my space. Like, I can't have clutter around me. And I want to say I noticed this because like I had cleaned up one day, and I was just like, wow, I feel so motivated to like do XYZ and just like be here. It's like pulling teeth for me to like sit at this area, and it's already bad enough that my desk area isn't as big as I need it to be, because right now my desk, I'll like insert a picture, I have like minimal leg space, so it's like, I guess I feel like I'm like shrinking myself in this spot because it's so cluttered, and then it's also a small spot. I consume way too much video content, whether it be YouTube or like the little shows that I watch, and it's just too much. It knocks me out of my sleep pattern when I watch too many videos, basically, when I'm looking at a screen for too long. And yeah, next year I want to work on having like, I don't know, maybe I'll have like a rule, like, okay, on one day out of the week or on the weekends, no screen time or minimal screen time. You can watch XYZ, but I've realized I cannot watch shows that are binge watchable, where they post every single episode. I can't watch those because like if I watch it on a Monday, if I feel like I have to finish it on, I'll have to just finish it all the way through that same night or until the next day, but it won't stretch for 3 days. And because of that, I've learned that I'm a very, what do you call it, like a completist type of person. Like, I have to finish the thing. I have to have all of the pieces to the set, even if I don't need the pieces. And I don't know if that's a good or bad, but it's definitely something that I'm gonna be working on, because it was just too much. Like, I just watched too many things in 2022, and in 2023 I want to work on creating more things. I also learned that I have zero desire to participate in respectability politics. I guess I should say anymore, because I'm sure like we all at some point, you know, participate in it, but like I just have zero desire for it nowadays. And I realized that in 2020, when I had like a conversation with someone just about an email, like my tone in an email, and I was responding to someone else who always has like a nasty tone, and it was just one of those emails where like I was like, you know what, I'm done, I'm tired of this person, I'm not being all nice and cordial, and I was still like respectful and stuff, but I was just very like direct. And you know, when you're at work, they expect you to be indirect. You're expected to speak or communicate indirectly, and that like goes against my being. I want to say, like, it's really, really hard for me to speak indirectly to people, or to be passive aggressive when I'm in spaces where I'm expected to communicate in that way. I find myself struggling for words, and I think it's often viewed as, oh well, she can't articulate herself or something like that. But it's like, nah, I'm not struggling to articulate myself. I'm struggling to articulate myself in a way that doesn't curse you the fuck out, you know, a way that essentially that you are comfortable with, basically, because that's all it is. And I'm just not with that anymore. Like, I can't do that. I have zero desire. But anyway, back to the story. I was being, you know, spoken to about it, and it wasn't like, oh, you did a bad thing. It was most like, hey girl, maybe, you know, if you try to just be a little more gentle. And I'm just kind of like at a point where I'm tired of handling people gently when they would never even consider handling me that way. And I'm just kind of like, no, I don't want to do that. I'm not interested in doing that. And I don't really care if I'm perceived as like the angry black woman or anything like that. I'm just kind of like, I learned that people always want to talk to you any type of way that they want to talk to you. But when you start talking to them in that way, then it's like, oh, by golly, what's going on? It's like, no, this is what you wanted, ain't it? Like, what's the problem? Damn. I'm always dropping my phone. And I'm sure my neighbor is probably annoyed with me because I just stay dropping shit. I'm gonna put it on the table. Notifications really give me anxiety. So like notifications on the phone, or like seeing notifications flash by on the computer, that really stresses me the fuck out. Cause I feel like, oh God, I gotta respond right away. I gotta do this right away. But like hearing that bling and stuff is really annoying to me. And it just like makes me feel like I have to hurry up and do this, or like, it's like I'm being judged. I don't know if that's like, I don't know if that's dramatic, but every time I hear a notification, I feel like I'm being judged. Like, you're not done with this yet? Why aren't you doing this yet? What's going on? I'm going to delete my emails, because I'm the type of person who I probably still have emails that I haven't opened from like 10 years ago. However long an email will hold, what do you call them? An email provider will hold your emails. That's how long I have emails in there. And they really could go. Because I'm tired of seeing you have, what is it, like 30,000? Yep, 31,859 emails that I'm never going to open. I'm never going to look at those emails. So I just want to delete them, which brings me to the next thing that I learned, was that I have a really hard time letting things go. Not necessarily like problems or anything like that, but like literal things. Like, I'm not a hoarder, but I could see that in my future probably, because I just be having a hard time throwing stuff out. Like, I have like 3 little glass bottle things that I've gotten from, I don't know, some product that I bought, and I just washed them out and I have them up there like I'm gonna use them. Like, I tell myself that, oh, I'm gonna use them to propagate some plants, but I already have some to propagate plants in. Like, I don't need these other glass things. I'm just holding them. So I need to like let that stuff go. I really do go through, I don't know, how do you even say, like, go through bouts of or suffer from, what is that thing called? Imposter syndrome. And a few weeks ago, maybe months ago now, I handed in this flyer that I had to design for work, and I was asked to show it to the person who was basically, I think, the designer at work or head of like visuals at work. And they emailed me back. They were like, oh, this looks great. I only have one edit, and it was just to like enlarge the text, the heading text. And immediately I was like, am I lying? Like, what do you mean? Was it really great? Like, what do you, and I don't know why I did that. Like, I instantly felt like, oh, it's not, why are you doing that? Why are you downplaying your work? Because it is something that I'm really, really proud of. But I don't know, after a while looking at it, I guess I became less and less impressed with it. And I was just kind of like, it's regular. But I always feel that way about my work, except for my writing. Like, I never feel like my writing is just whatever, or, you know, like, I feel like I know that I am a really good writer. Like, I love writing. I think it's so much fun. I hate the process of writing. Like, I hate what it takes to get to the end, but I love the end results all the time. So I really want to work on bringing some of that confidence to everything else, bringing on everything else that I do, because I definitely need it. I don't know what that's about, though, because it's not like I'm being told, like, oh, you're bad at XYZ, XYZ. It's just in my head. Like, I'm very hard on myself, and I need to stop. Another thing that I learned is that I do not share my thoughts a lot. Like, in group settings, like one-on-one, I'm good. Like, I can be open and share my thoughts. So, like, for example, if I'm out with a group of friends or a friend and their friend or something like that, like, yeah, I'll jump in, but I'm always the quieter person there, because I hate, like, competing for attention. And I feel like every time, like, when I'm in a group setting, it's always kind of like that double dutch moment when you try to figure out when to jump in the rope, because people just kind of go back and forth, and I'm not that type of person. Like, I'm very much a, like, you speak, now I speak type of person. So I think that's why I always kind of, like, fall back a bit and just kind of be, like, nodding and stuff. And then also when I'm in, like, organized social events, I hate it. I learned that this year. I fucking hate it, and I'm not gonna force myself to do them anymore. Like, if I don't want to go to the work party, I'm not going, because I just be so awkward. Like, I always feel like I need something to do. Like, I went to my office's like holiday party last month, I think, or maybe it was this month, a few weeks ago, and it was the worst thing. Not because of anyone else. Like, everyone's great. I really like all of them. They're cool, but I just hated it. I hated it. Like, I just hated it. Yeah, I just learned that I don't do well in situations like that, and I don't need to force myself to do it, because for me, it's not that I feel, like, nervous to talk to people. It's just I don't feel like doing that. Like, I hate small talk. I hate, like, forced situations, if that makes sense. So it just, I just be all over the place. But I do want to start sharing my thoughts more, because I feel like their perception is that I don't have things to say, when I have a lot of shit to say. Like, I'm always thinking about things and always, like, talking things through, whether it be inside my head or outside. For me, it's all about, like, the people that I'd be sharing those thoughts with. Like, how do I feel with them or around them? Like, if I feel completely, like, safe and respected and, like, appreciated by that person, appreciated as like, you want me to be there and you want to actually hear my thoughts, then I'll just blurt them all out. Like, I'm sharing everything. I'll share everything. But when I'm around people that I don't necessarily feel that with, that I don't feel comfortable with, or that I don't feel are genuine or, like, really give a fuck about anything that I'm, about to say, I'll just kind of be like, I don't really need to waste my time on them. So I don't know. I just want to think about that more, be more, what's the word, cognizant? Is that the right word? Be more aware of that, and try to work through that if it's like if it's a thing that I need to work through. I just want to share my thoughts more because I be having stuff to say, and I feel like people should know. Like, I feel like I've always kind of known this. I've always known that I enjoy water, but I love being in water, and I want to make a point to like be in water more recreationally. So like, yeah, it's been a long time since I've been in water on a beach, and I really want to do that next year. Like, I don't know what beach I want to go to, but I'll book a flight somewhere and be on the beach, be in some water, because I really like being in water. Like, I just feel so like safe and just happy in water. Like, water is just so calming to me. And then the last thing that I would say I learned is that I think way too deeply about things. Like, even if it's like if I see something on the internet that someone that I know posted, I'll get ready to write them or something like that. But I'll think about it. I'm like, should I write that? Does that sound right? Would they be offended? Like, I'll just get into my head about it. And it's like, what are you doing? It's just a little. They posted their dog barking or something like that. Why are you thinking about this? Just write your comment. And I really want to get out of that. Like, why am I thinking so much about things? Like, just do. So I want to work on just doing next year. But anyway, that is all that I learned this year, in the year of 2022. And I can't remember if I said this, but overall 2022 was a good year for me. It was very fun. It was very nice to just buy myself to spoil myself, basically. Buy myself all the things that I wanted. Hung out more, reached out more to people. I want to continue doing that. And yeah, I see consistency, I see progress, and I see flourishing relationships and just happiness in my future, especially 2023. Like, hopefully it shapes out to be even better or just as good as 2022. So yeah, this is to the new year. I really feel it's my time.